All right. Good evening, sorry friends. This is the Mitty Man coming at you again from Walker Studio, back here, Studio B. We like to say we give God all the praise and the glory. Give Him all, thanking Him for life, health, and strength for as well as it is. Also, we want to thank you for all the cyber friends. You know who you are. I come here briefly this evening to just share a little something that I noticed and been observing for quite some time, and I it really hit me and dawned on me, uh, old Joel Osteen. I remember seeing Joel Osteen on one of the episodes on a weekly broadcast on Daystar, I believe. Then again, it might have been on TV, and I'm not for certain, but he was speaking about people that don't go out of your way trying to make people like you and all that kind of stuff like that. Cause he was saying that 20% of the people that you meet not gonna like you anyway, and don't go busy yourself trying to make people like you. You just wasting your energy that you can have be that could be well spent on something else because you cannot make people like you. Neither should you want that. But at any rate, we it's a way. In other words, your attitude determines your altitude. That's one thing about that. You we Some of us just got bad attitude. Period. I mean, just straight bad attitude, and we ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Uh, I can remember when I was growing up as a little boy, and my great grandmama used to always say if you ain't got something good to say, shut up. If you ain't got something good to say, just keep your mouth closed. And don't think the worst of everything. I mean, people. Let me tell you something. Um, Many man, I sit here in this chapel, in this front of this camera, before y'all, and I'm going to be transparent as I can be. And I don't try to put myself up higher than other people than I should have. And neither do I try to make myself be something that I'm not. Try to make myself better than anybody else. No, that's not the aim and purpose of Mitty Man. But what I'm saying is, you got to think, you ought to think the best in others. Don't uh, think the worst. Some of us, that's all we can think is the worst. If you look for that, that's what you're going to find. Whatever you look for, that's what you'll end up finding. In other words, um, give people a benefit of a doubt. Just same way that you would want folks to do you. In other words, some people, we ain't got nothing good to say about nobody, but now when it come to us, oh man, we right down the top of the totem pole on the Jesus light list. Let us tell it, but we ain't got no fault. But everybody else, you got a thumb down with most of the other folks, and you just ain't never got nothing good to say about nobody else. But that's something wrong with that picture there. Right there, that tells me a lot about the individual. That tells me a lot about the attitude of the individual. And so, like I said, I just try to myself to be honest with myself, and I try not to be not too hard on myself, no more than I would on somebody else. And I try to give other people the benefit of a doubt too, because everybody's not against you, regardless of what you think or not. Because most folks don't even know. Everybody don't even know you. So in other words, how can I sit here as Mitty Man and think that everybody's against Mitty Man? Everybody don't even know Mitty Man. That just all in your mind. See, in other words, now, and I remember Joel Osteen saying that, and it really it hit home. It makes a lot of sense. See, in other words, I remember I believe my grandmama or my great grandmama, one of them, it might have been both. They said you cannot think somebody else is just like a person that steals. A rogue think everybody steals. Let me say that again. Because a rogue is think everybody is stealing because he or she know that they steal and they think everybody else doing it. See, you can't think all that stupidity unless it's in you yourself. In other words, my cousin, Reverend Michael J. Walker, he used to say like about digging ditches for folks. Say, you know, when you dig a ditch, you already in that ditch. You can't dig a ditch on top of the ground. You got to already be in that ditch to dig it. So when we ought to have we need to, if you've been negative all your life and you don't know nothing else but negative, you need to ask God to help you, to give you a new attitude. Just like the Patti LaBelle said back in the 80s, you need a new attitude. We need to change some of our ways and everything and stop thinking the worst in everybody but yourself. You are not that grand either. I mean, you got some flaws just like anybody else. And so you don't want nobody picking at your flaws and whatnot and putting you down. So why don't we stop putting other people down and try to lift them up? We all got skeletons in our closet. We all got faults. We all have them. But let's try to walk with each other in our faults and realizing our own selves. That's what Jesus would want us to do, y'all. And Mitty Man, I tell y'all, this evening I got the feeling I wasn't feeling the greatest, and I almost lied down, but one man said, "No, fight it this time," and so I did. And I went and took me an Alka-Seltzer, and I felt a little bit better. And I thank God, and I'm still sitting here right now doing this video. But really and truly, I just call y'all. I give these here motivational minutes. I call them in my videos. I've been doing it for so long. I've gotten used to it and everything, and I try to give everybody something that they can use. I know that my church, we are planning on trying to ease back into the sanctuary. Matter of fact, on next Sunday we are supposed to have some church on the outside. Church on the outside. Well, it's Mother's Day and it's Women's Day also at our church. So it's sort of like a double slam next Sunday. I hope to be able to go. I'm hoping that I will be able to go. But I'm not gonna jump the gun so quick to say that I will be there, and I'm not gonna say I won't be there. I'm just gonna say we're gonna let whatever the Lord will be done, and we'll leave that up, and we'll leave that in God's hand. But I do know that I got aspiration to get back on the stick and everything with all my churches, not only my home church, but New Salem CME and as well as Pleasant Grove AME Church and choirs. We need to get back. And I'll tell y'all, I'm Mitty Man gonna be the first one to tell y'all and sit here. I'm not gonna lie to you. This boy is straight rusty. You hear me? Keyboard playing right now for me is very difficult, y'all. Very difficult. I mean, you know, y'all know I'm a diabetic, and I had diabetic nerve ending damage to myself and everything, neuropathy in these hands and everything, and plus being out of practice, period. I tell y'all straight up, Mitty Man is straight rusty right now. And God knows I got a lot of work that I'm going to have to do to get my own self back in the swing of things before I can even teach the choirs anything. I can't teach the choir nothing right now because right now I'm all out of whack. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I just tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth on myself. I am out of whack to beat the band. And so I got a lot of work that I need to do to try to get these hands and back moving the way they should and everything. And old Mitty Man is up for just suggestions, and y'all just see this video. If y'all know anything that I could do perhaps to help my hands out and get my fingers back loose and whatnot, I am open for suggestions, and I'll try to do something because I like I said, I am a long way off. I'm off base a lot, and I know it's going to take a lot of work for me to get myself back together in order to even start teaching the choirs anything. I got to get my own self back in shape first before I can get them back in shape. So y'all pray for Mitty Man's strength. And remember, y'all, let's think the best of everybody. Let's don't just think the negative. You can't think all that mess unless it's already in you. I try to tell people that all the time. Try to look for the good in everything. And you can find, if you look hard enough, you can find some good. He said in anything that we do undertake, you can find some good, even though it's a lot of bad stuff. I know that it's a lot of bad stuff happening in this world. We know that. Matter of fact, we just had a tragedy here the other week, about this tragic death of this mom and her sons and everything. That's a tragedy. We know that, y'all. But still, we can find some good in everything if we look hard enough for it. And I'm just saying, y'all pray Mitty Man's strength, my cyber friends and everything, and Mitty Man will pray for yours. In other words, and I say whatever you get into, if God is not in it, please, ma'am, please, sir, come on out of it, because it's going to come to nothing. And until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this is Mitty Man saying peace. Good evening.